JMU landed what seems to be a pretty massive transfer quarterback addition. The backup QB for Washington, the national champion runner up, Dylan Morris, he's reportedly committed to play out his final year of eligibility with James Madison. Morris heads from the best purple and gold team on the West Coast to the best purple and gold team on the East Coast. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and the 6 foot, 197-pound quarterback from Puyallup, Washington, should be the favorite to win the starting QB position over Alonzo Barnett, Billy Atkins, Brett Griffiths, and freshman J.C. Evans. But the real question that's swirling around Dylan Morris is this backup quarterback. He's backed up Michael Penix the last 2 years for Washington. He hasn't started a game since 2021. Is he any good? My short answer is yes. My long answer, well, it's a little bit more complicated, and that's why we have this video. He's played in 26 games in his career, and he was the Huskies starter during the COVID-shortened 2020 season, and then was the starter in the 2021 season under Jimmy Lake. In that 2021 season, Washington was ranked 20th in the preseason AP Top 25. Now, across the 15 games he started in 2020 and 21, he threw for 3,355 yards, 18 touchdowns, had a 61% completion percentage, and he averaged about 223 and a half passing yards per game. He's not the most mobile quarterback in terms of picking up yards on the ground, but he has excellent pocket mobility. He can really keep plays alive with his legs. Now, he's not going to be what Todd Centeio, what Jordan McLeod was, where they were a threat to go on the ground every play, but he still has that pocket mobility. That is elite. That is next level. That will really help unlock this JMU offense. Some people really point to that 2021 season, and despite him putting up 2,458 yards on a 61% completion percentage with 14 touchdowns, he did have 12 interceptions. People think he might not be all that he's cracked up to be. And part of that reason, I believe, might be because of his lackluster performance against Montana, where he threw 3 picks against an FCS foe. And coming into that game, like I said earlier, Washington was ranked 20th in the nation. It was expected that they were going to blow out the Grizzlies in that game. And Morris came out and kind of laid an egg. However, I'm chalking that up and kind of his lackluster overall 2021 to poor coaching ability. He was being coached by Jimmy Lake, and that staff and Jimmy Lake in particular was let go midway through that 2021 season. So I think that was more so bad coaching more than it was necessarily Dylan Morris's ability. However, that Montana game did shine some light on the downside of his game, which it appears to be interceptions. He threw 15 interceptions, 1 per every game he started in 2020 and 2021 on average. For comparison's sake, JMU quarterbacks, they threw 15 interceptions over 18 games dating back to October 22nd, 2022. So it is a bit of an issue. So let's change gears a bit now and look at the potential for Dylan Morris in this Dean Kennedy, Bob Chesney offense. Morris, at his best in the 2020 season, was an all Pac-12 honorable mention. Coming out of high school, he was the 5th ranked pro-style quarterback in the nation, and he was the 2nd ranked recruit in the whole state of Washington. In high school, he threw for 9,815 yards, 7th most in Washington state history. And coming out of high school, he was praised as an accurate passer. He had plus arm strength. He could read the defenses at an extremely high level, had great football IQ. He could find the soft spots in zones and just dissect opponents' defenses. In reality, and kind of what I'm expecting from Dylan Morris coming into this season, he should be a guy that steps into this offense and gives Sun Belt defenses headaches. And that might not be the only reason that Bob Chesney went out and recruited him out of the portal. Not only can he dissect defenses, but he from all accounts, from the Seattle Times, what they were reporting when he entered the transfer portal, the quotes coming out of the Dylan Morris camp, of the Washington camp, he's a fantastic leader. He is a great locker room presence. So pair that with his ability on the field. This is a big time pickup for Bob Chesney. Dean Kennedy, also not really a stranger to this style of quarterback. In Dean Kennedy's first year as offensive coordinator at Holy Cross, he did run a quarterback power run style of offense led by Matthew Sluka. So coming into it, a lot of people, myself included, thought that would be the style that he would bring to JMU, but he does have experience with these pro style, more pocket passer type quarterbacks, as does Bob Chesney. Just take a listen to what he said during his opening press conference.
Yes. So it looks like whatever our strengths are on that team. If you go back to the assumption days, there's still a guy playing, in the NFL. There's 4 still playing in the NFL right now, or 3 still playing in the NFL right now. But we were not a great mobile quarterback with an unbelievable slot receiver and another great receiver. And we were able to really spread the ball around and create big plays over and over again, especially then in special teams. But offensively, it's going to be based around ultimately the quarterback. That's where a lot of it starts. So you need to have a quarterback that could compete in pressure situations and deliver over and over again, which is why practice structure needs to be very, very important for that kid to be put on the line and go through those emotions of succeeding and winning a game or failing and losing a game and learning from it long before he ever gets out there in the most crucial moments. But we will play to our players' strengths. We will get the ball to our playmakers.
And all of that makes sense. I mean, during Chesney's 5 years at Division II Assumption, his teams averaged 2,456 yards through the air a season, and they had 101 total passing touchdowns over that time. And the most yards his starting quarterbacks ever ran for in a season was 237 in his second year as head coach, when Mark Monk took over as the starting quarterback for Assumption. I mean, that was a pro-style quarterback that really took Assumption to the next level. So pair all of that with Kennedy's experience coaching quarterbacks at Florida when Kyle Trask was there. This pairing might just be fantastic in 2024. I'm expecting big things out of Dylan Morris and this JMU offensive attack.